It's just not fair. It is not fair. What the Philadelphia Eagles are doing to the NFL at one particular position group, the way we keep just bringing in and replenishing the cupboard every single time, it's not fair. It's simply just not fair to the rest of the NFL. Heck, Howie Roseman, the Eagles' remaining front office, our scouting department, down to our coaching staff, particularly the defensive side of things, they ought to be investigated for how they're able to keep doing this. Because how in the world, as the Philadelphia Eagles, are you able to go from a player of the caliber of Javon Hargrave, who was exceptional on the 2022 season? I mean, straightforward. This guy kept beating everybody. I mean, he was destroying games on that 22 season. How do you go from a guy like that following the conclusion of that, the disappointing conclusion and the loss in that Super Bowl run we had, to where everyone thought we were cooked? They thought we were done, right? We didn't have a particularly great exterior pass rush, outside pass rush, and we were just losing one of the biggest components to our interior pass rush, which was exceptional, in Javon Hargrave. Not to mention we had complex issues coming up with whether or not Fletcher Cox would be back. We knew Ndamukong Suh likely wasn't coming back. But then came Milton Williams, the second part of this. How did the Eagles do this? Milton Williams, third-round pick, comes in. This athletic specimen, man. I mean, you remember the comparisons in terms of the numbers. The only person who had put up numbers like Milton Williams from the interior defensive line was Aaron Donald. I mean, this dude was that type of freaking athlete. How do they keep doing this, right? They tell us we're cooked, and we say, wait a minute. I got to tell you, Milton Williams may not be quite Javon Hargrave as a pass rusher. He's still exceptional at it. He's twitchy as crap. And he's probably a better all-around football player than Javon Hargrave because he's far more effective at playing the run. He's not a big guy. He doesn't have a lot of arm reach. He's not very heavy. But what he is just technically sound and hard to remove from the hole. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He's hard, in the run game, you ain't moving him. Straightforward. Let me tell you how productive, how good, how great of a season Milton Williams had last year. He was the second highest graded interior defensive lineman from a pass rushing perspective. The only player he trailed, as in pass rusher on the interior, was Chris Jones. And once again, we're going into this aspect of how do you replace a guy like that? Because I'll be honest with you, New England. Hey, you got a player. I'm not going to sit here and act like Milton Williams is not a fantastic player. That dude's worth every dime you guys paid for him. If the circumstances were different in Philly, there's no way that guy would have gotten out of here. He would have gotten a deal here. Circumstances were what the circumstances were, unfortunately. But now you got to ask yourself another question. How do you guys keep doing this? How do the Philadelphia Eagles keep doing this? How are you going from Javon Hargrave to Milton Williams to Morrow Ojomo now? Oh, Moro can play some ball. Moro is another tweener, 6'3", a little taller, only probably at best 290, 295 at best. But I would honestly say he's probably between 285 and 292, right? Complete tweener. This is a guy that he tested well. That 177-10 split is pretty impressive. However, he didn't test to what we saw from Milton Williams. But on his tape, you can see the twitchiness come out when he was a pass rusher. And to be honest, there's been some shade thrown at the young man. I mean, guys like Lance Zierlein, who I greatly respect, they did throw a little shade. He wrote, he doesn't really have the get-off quickness to exploit interior blockers as an inside rusher on passing downs. I agree with a lot of what Lance Zierlein says. I don't agree with that take. Bleacher Report scouting department drops his hands and his pad level. It increases when rushing the passer, allowing offensive linemen to get to his chest and diminishing his power. Yeah, you don't want to drop your hands and at the same time make yourself tall. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Somehow, some way, I have a feeling that over the course of the time he's been here and the people he's worked with, and definitely including, Vic Fangio and Vic Fangio's staff, Clint Hurt and these guys. Let's look at Fangio's record. I know Fangio's a linebacker guy. Dome Patrol. He was a linebacker position coach before he was a defensive coordinator, right? Then he worked with Baltimore with their linebackers, okay? When you look at some of the names that this young man has coached, you got Eddie Goldman and Akeem Hicks in Chicago. You had Shelby Harris and Draymond Jones in Denver. And then you even had a guy like Zach Zeeler in Miami when he was there. Somehow, some way, every time Vic Fangio gets his hands on these interior defensive linemen, and I know it's not necessarily him coaching them up down there per se, but his scheme, it seems to really be friendly to these dudes. These guys tend to have some like crazy numbers whenever he gets to town. It's crazy how this stuff works, man. I mean, just to give you some perspective on what I'm saying, right? Milton Williams was the second highest graded interior pass rusher, right? The fifth highest graded interior pass rusher last season, it was Morrow Ojomo. Yeah, and he's getting an expanded role this year. So we're going to see. You know who the seventh highest graded interior pass rusher was last year? Yeah, it was Jalen Carter. The guy who probably deserves a lot of credit for making some of these things possible, right? Because Jalen Carter's just such a disruptive force that you kind of have to pay attention to him. And, you know, it's hard to, you know, move away from Jalen Carter when you got, you know, it's just difficult. You can't really, like, give focus to Morrow Ojomo. You can't really give focus to a guy like, you know, Milton Williams. You can't give focus to Jordan Davis when you got a guy like Jalen Carter over there. I'm talking about on passing downs. Even on running downs, you can make an argument. That dude's a beast. I look at this interior pass rush, guys, and I got to ask it again. How in the hell are the Eagles doing this? How do they keep doing this? How are they able to keep replenishing the cupboard every time it gets low? Because I got to tell you, I am real excited to see what Ojomo does on this 2025 NFL season. I think he's the next big thing in Philly, guys. I really do. Jalen Carter's still the heart and the soul of it all. I'm not going to sit here and say that guy's not a big reason why anyone's having success. He absolutely is. Get ready, man. This kid was already the fifth highest rated interior pass rusher. And now he's about to get an expanded opportunity to refine his game and get even better. Just the track record and history we have with Vic Fangio with these guys. You know, Clint Hurt down there teaching and training these guys. Man, this is going to be just a crazy way that we can keep replenishing the cupboards. We're not even done. There are other interior defensive linemen here that deserve their own credit here, deserve their own videos, and they probably will get their own videos as time goes on. But I got to tell you, I got to come back and I got to shout my guy out. Morrow Ojomo is one of those dudes, man. Ojomo is one of those dudes. Like, he is going to be a guy. I have no doubt that he's going to succeed. Like, I just think that this young man, despite this, his stature at 6'3", 285, 290-ish, 34.5-inch arm reach, man. Guys always think they can just remove him from the run game. The problem is he's so lanky and is so weirdly shaped in terms of the frame, he's almost impossible to remove from that frame because of just the way he's shaped. The fact that he has these longer arms, this reach, that's hard to get around. The fact that he is a decent athlete. He's not a great or an elite one, but he's a decent one. Especially at that position in particular. We got us something here, guys. We got us a real bona fide player here in Morrow Ojomo. This is a guy, man, I'm telling you, watch him this year, guys. I think he's going to go off, and we're going to be like, man, the Eagles just keep doing it, dude. They just keep doing it. Undefeated, bro. Howie Roseman is just undefeated when it comes to replenishing the cupboard down there along the interior defensive line. All right, y'all, peace. I'm out of here. If you like this kind of content, I would love to add you to the community. Just need you to hit that subscribe button to do that. Don't forget to like, guys. If you got a comment, drop me a comment, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the interior defensive line in particular. And then also, guys, listen, if you like this kind of study, if you want us to kind of keep going over advanced analytics, or you want to see a video where I break down maybe some tape, click this video right here and you'll learn a little bit more about advanced analytics, mixed in with some tape and kind of the way I'm viewing this defense. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here.